The amazing digital circus has become so popular. After all, he has something to attract. First of all, these are unusual characters. Everyone has their own character, and each reflects different psychological problems in their own way. Well, the director of this fucking circus is Saine. Rather, he is our entertainer. Although, in principle, it is not difficult to guess that he is in charge here, he has many abilities that no one else has. He also knows almost everything about this amazing digital circus, and what's the most interesting thing? We know from the very beginning that something is wrong with him. Is Saine the main villain? Still, from the very beginning, he does not tell us something, especially since it is obvious that he is lying. And it actually keeps people in a digital trap with no way out. You will all stay here forever and have fun in this eternal digital circus forever, until I get bored, or until you go crazy and become crazy. Who has not lost hope of getting out? Saine has prepared a special place for the dungeon. Now you and I are going to find out about the dark deeds of this toothy. Well, I would like to say a few words about the pilot episode of the amazing digital circus. He came out very cool. I believe that it would be necessary to publish the second series immediately and do the pilot first. It just has everything and nothing superfluous. We get to know our crazy characters who have their own character, and each is unique in their own way. The amazing digital circus is like our whole life with very strange characters, and we are one such character. Yes, they are all ambiguous, toxic, but you can communicate with them and find a common language, except for this hair. He's a jerk. Immediately in the pilot episode, there are so many plot twists, new adventures, and all this is accompanied by the bewildered face of the main character Pomni, in which despair and madness are read. Oh yes, despite the fact that this circus radiates its madness, it has its own rules. It's not looking for a way out and not talking about it at all. It's like he's not there. But we will return to this and not swear. Not swear. Anyway, all your bad words will stutter. And all this is run by the toothy entertainer Saine. And who is he? He is the main villain, but it's too early to reveal him for the pilot episode. Although it's fair to say that for all its ambiguity, Saine behaves like a friend, our toothy entertainer. Of course, he behaves very strangely, and at the same time uses abilities that no character has. Why does he know how to fly, make others fly? He can easily teleport even into the void, and you can't go out into it for a minute at all, and he also has telekinesis, and he has his own helpers in the form of eyes and bubbles. He himself is so cheerful, hyperactive, cheerful, just like the real head of the digital circus ring. But, on the other hand, he behaves quite secretively, does not say much, and as soon as something is revealed, he immediately finds an explanation or, better to say, an excuse for it. Allegedly, he has some unfinished work in the form of another location, probably, and therefore it is not worth looking for a way out. He did not come up with the idea that you can make a void there, so it is better not to go out there, especially since it is dangerous there, and also so that the local characters do not guess and do not think about what is in this void, and generally outside the circus location. He comes up with various adventures for them. This is a children's cartoon or a game where you need to complete various quests. I think we will see similar classic adventures of the digital circus in the next episodes. And let's take it in order. We find out in the series that all the characters that are here are people who have arrived. They acquire a new digital body of their new character. They forget their name, and, most likely, gradually forget their former lives, because there is no way out, and you need to be content with the world in which you now live. Well, nothing, but look how fun it is here. And here comes the question. Is Saine also a human being? It doesn't look like it. He knows more about this circus than anyone else. He has unique abilities that allow him to control the whole situation. And in general, he has a role to play to manage this whole circus. Of course, I do not deny that Saine can be a human being. However, the series mentions that the first person to arrive here is Kinger. He's probably been here the longest. And how can they be Kinger if Saine is in charge here? Isn't it logical to assume that Saine was just one character, which means that he is also a human being? Well, not exactly like that. Most likely, Saine is the whole circus or part of it. He is an artificial intelligence that controls everything, which means that in this world he can do anything. He showed it to us, although so far we don't know about all his abilities. But if he is able to create entire locations, as he says, that he did not finish something there, then he literally can create anything. And look what happens. He can do everything, literally everything in this world. He has his own henchmen, and at the same time, he holds several characters hostage, that is, people. He does not let any of them go, and if suddenly some character starts to rebel, go crazy, he will disperse. That is, it will turn into one big glitch. And what is our Mr. Entertainer doing with him? He sends them to the basement to the same glitches. Take a closer look. This is not the first time this has happened. And this is very alarming. He just gets rid of an unnecessary character, but he doesn't let him go. He doesn't let anyone go, and all for the sake of having fun. In my opinion, Saine is nothing but a villain here. And perhaps these are not all the secrets that our main entertainer hid. The main mystery is where the exit is, and this exit door can appear literally everywhere, and Saine character suggested that there is no exit, although the door sometimes appears in a random place. And I wonder if this is some kind of glitch that Saine couldn't fix, or he specifically gives people a way out so that they can see by their own example that there is no way out. Pomni has already tried to get out through this door, and she almost succeeded. She walked for a long time. She constantly opened and closed these doors, and yet she came out to the exit. But she couldn't leave this place. She was interrupted by Saine. He has a kind of beacon, an alarm signal that tells him if someone has gone out into the void. He immediately takes away the one who dared to go out into the void. But isn't emptiness the way out? It turns out that the door that says exit is the exit. What a turnaround. And it really can be. Pomni was closer to the goal than ever. A little more and she could have gotten out of this digital circus and never put on that damn headset again, with which she moved into this circus. Mind you, she didn't come back on her own. She wasn't teleported to the very beginning. Saine took her. And before that, when Pomni mentioned a door with an exit, Saine immediately began to freak out, which was not in his style and not in his situation. After all, he is literally a god here, and began to deny that there is nothing like that. At the very end, we saw that through the void we could actually get into a room with a computer. This means that we need to at least overcome this void and get out, but Saine will still trigger an alarm, and it will return the fugitive to his place. On the other hand, Saine himself, for some reason, began to say that the character could deteriorate if he found himself in the void. When Pomni was there, it was as if she entered into some kind of trance. Something was obviously wrong with her. So, the void can somehow affect the character. It can also disperse or destroy him altogether. Or maybe Saine meant that by the word spoil, it means to get out. That is, characters can escape through the void and become human again. Yes, everything is quite difficult. Until Glitch has released a couple more episodes, we can only guess what kind of void it is, and why Saine strongly does not want anyone to get out of his circus. Well, what do you think? Is Saine a villain? And who do you think he is anyway? Write your opinion and your theories in the comments. Well, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.